Hi, this is Matt Center. I am a spiritual seeker and an earth hero. I work with the unseen world and the backstage that makes the theater of life possible. I do so because I believe I can help make a better world and in the process make a better me. Today I'm going to show you the power of human intention in action, what I call imprints or land memories, to affect and alter space. Our thoughts and actions have a huge impact on a space, and I'm going to show you that impact by looking at how a negativity can snuff out the life of an energy vortex. What I'm really talking about is the vibe. You're all familiar with the vibe. You know what a vibe is. You've been in a funeral parlor and felt horrific. You've been in like a cool bar and felt the uplifting vibe. You've been in a wedding. You've been in many, many places in your life where there's a certain atmosphere, a je ne sais quoi created. That's what I look at all the time. I look at that because I believe that is probably the most important variable in determining the sacredness of this space. It doesn't matter how many features you can find there, but if the space is contaminated with negativity, with violence and hate, it's not good. It's not good. And I'm going to show you that right now. I'm going to get some stones that I found. I went to an industrial area. An industrial area where Mother Earth has been trashed, where chemicals and petroleum products have been dispensed into the land. This is a nasty space, right? Let's look at this energy vortex first. I should have done that. I'm sorry. Let's look at the energy vortex. So I'm sitting here, and this is an energy vortex. And so this energy vortex here, we look at this energy vortex here. Where's the vortex? It's here, right? It spins around. That's what you get. The vortex spins around. That's the vortex spin. I can test it. It pulls in what I call meditation or cosmic prana. This is going this way. But then I said, okay, it's going this way. Where is it actually going? My rods are now, my intention, it's really being pulled in. It's being pulled in. This stuff nourishes your soul. So now I say, how big is the energy vortex? It's a big vortex. This is my cushion. This is my seat cushion. I've got several videos telling people, get a seat cushion, get a seat cushion. Because this is what can happen. You're going to get into this beautiful, wonderful vortex that's going to nourish your soul. So I'm about 15 feet away. So it's 30 feet in diameter. This is a friggin' big, big stone. So now I'm going to take these stones that I got from an industrial area. An area that has been contaminated by bad behavior, by chemicals and all sorts of stuff. This is not good. This is not good. So now, I'm going to go over here. We're going to put it on the vortex. And again, think of people that you know, that your encounters with negative people and how they've ended everything from relationships to marriages, to friendships, to companies, all sorts of things. Negativity can damage anything. So I'm putting it on this cushion right now, right? So I'm going to say, I'm on my friend's property right now. Which way is the closest energy vortex? I'm standing at what was a previous energy vortex. It's now over there. I know where it is. We found one over there. There's an energy vortex in the woods. But what has happened? I'm going to say, well, show me the spin of the energy vortex. There's no spin. There's no spin because this negativity has overcome this energy vortex. If you've listened to my other videos, if you've read my books, I talk about this constantly. We live in a sea of consciousness. I believe that sea of consciousness is all God. That's our ultimate reality. All is God. All is one. I'm a pantheist. I'm a believer in God is in everything. And one of the rules of the sea of consciousness, one of the primary rules, I've talked in my books, I've watched all these people intellectualize about what consciousness is. I will tell you right now, as someone that gets in the nitty-gritty, I am like a construction worker. I get my hands dirty. I'm in the woods right now. I'm not sitting reading a book or something like that. I'm getting my hands dirty and working this. Consciousness merges with the consciousness it comes in contact with. That's simple. That's how we get this oneness. That's what people talk about. Well, how does that happen? Because you merge with everything you come in contact with. You're constantly merging with stuff. And when you bring negativity into loving positivity, it dampens it. Again, think of vibe. So now I look here and I say, where is it? Show me the vibe. There's nothing here. Now, I can still get the components of this and I can say which way is the positive vibe. So this sort of opponent here, it's spinning this way, right? That's the underlying imprint. Remember, an energy vortex is a positive, loving intentions that have blossomed and morphed into an energy vortex. Now I say, show me the negative component. That is a pretty strong negative component. Those stones are powerfully negative, okay? They're powerfully negative. This is negative. It's not a negative energy vortex, but it ain't far away. This is space that will make my head hurt. That is not good for me to be in, not good for you to be in, because over time, a negative energy vortex particularly can kill you. But it shows you that what happens in the world, consciousness merges, so this interaction is going on 24/7 around you, 24/7, all the time. Every place that you walk with, consciousness is interacting with. You're interacting with that consciousness. Constantly. That is one of the features of the sea of consciousness. You go to the grocery store. You're influenced by everything you come in contact, everything. And again, that's how oneness comes. Consciousness is one of the most important features. Someone that works is dedicated, the last almost 3 decades to working with sacred space. I wrote this book, Fields of Consciousness. It talks about where ley lines of Grinwin, the most sacred and most profoundly spiritual component of our Mother Earth, are what I call fields of consciousness. These are where ley lines come from. They originate in America's Northeast and Southern Ontario, Canada. These are powerful fields. They have welled up people. They have welled up American democracy, the women's movement. Much of what we hold dear and admire came out of this area and traces its roots back. Souls like women's rights reformers like Susan B. Anthony, Matilda Jocelyn Gage, people like Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass. Many religions, movements all came out. Now when I look at these fields of consciousness, I can look at the technical aspect of a field and tell you, well, a field can come as either a single field or 12 fields stacked upon each other. 12 fields are better than a single field. I can tell you that they can come in a series of 3 or come by themselves. Those are 2 components that I would use to gauge, technically gauge the way that you might look at an engine. Is an engine 200 or 300 horsepower? Whatever. That's the way I look at things. But you know what the most important gauge I look at? It's the vibe. If you read any of my books, it's all about the vibe. I classify things when I looked at them what the vibe was. And I have many places listed that don't have a good vibe, and I list them and I tell people, please go and pray and meditate and do ceremony at these places. Uplift them, because those ley lines that pass over those fields go to different corners of the world, and people that come in contact with that consciousness can be uplifted. So if you want to make a better world, this is one thing. I used to meditate for these things for hours on end because I believed I was making a better world. So when people talk to me about sacred space, well, you know what? It's all about the vibe. And you can tell me all the stone features, all the big megaliths. Well, you know what? It's all about the vibe. And the vibe at a place is popular is not going to be done. But the vibe, again, let's look at it. The vibe, positive, loving thoughts spin clockwise in the northern hemisphere. Counterclockwise are negative. Negative ones are counterclockwise. And the clockwise spin, counterclockwise spin is because of the Coriolis effect. The Earth's turn deflects things to the left. In the southern hemisphere, positive, loving thoughts spin counterclockwise, clockwise for negative. So that's what it does. So there's that sort of imprint that you can get these imprints. And again, these imprints are always on look at. Is the imprint, is the vibe good? Is it negative? Is it slightly positive, slightly negative, very negative? This is a critical component. And you have to realize you are constantly walking through space that is affected by the vibe. Anyway, thank you for your time and consideration. I hope you've enjoyed my video. Please like and subscribe. Namaste!